A lot of these sort of micro depressions, or what were they called?
Bioherms?
Bioherms, yes. Thank you.
We got our target coming up here in Herc sonar. Matches the map.
All right. Excellent. Give us some more rocks right before watch change.
Definitely. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, let's move towards that.
Oh, rockfish.
Big one.
I'm gonna guess canary.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Yes. They're sort of whitish.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the fish people on, please correct Meredith and me if we were wrong. But that does look like a canary rockfish. Or two canary rockfishes.
Mm-hmm. With canaries, where there's two, there are likely more.
They school?
No, not like school the way some do, but they are, you typically find more than one in an area where you find one. I have seen schools of them up off of
But they're not.
Oregon.
No, okay. But they're not
But not
solitary.
school like you would think of, like, yeah, they're not totally solitary, but they're also not totally like schooling like you'd think of a school of anchovies, or I think there are one or two of the rockfish species that will school. Oh, here's more rockfish. At
And
the rocks. Ratfish.
Ratfishes. Nice.
Tom says we're looking at boccaccio and vermilion rockfish. Right there.
Thanks, Tom. I was quickly going through Tom's guide, but it's easier to have Tom just tell me what they are.
I can slow down to 0.3 if you want here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Bridge now.
So boccaccio have a pretty big mouth. That's one of
Yeah,
their
the ones that we were just seeing a minute ago with, there's one just coming on the right, maybe. Yeah.
Hiding its mouth from us. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a boccaccio.
I keep looking for the other sonar.
Keep looking.
Tom confirmed that was a boccaccio that just came in from the right.
You're gonna have to,
yeah, come up a little faster.
yeah, or I can slow down.
I'll speed up a bit.
And a green spotted. Let's see, those are yellowtail, speckled. That's wrong.
Wow.
Oh, here's a lot
Lots
of fish.
of rockfish here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I cannot identify all of those. Sorry.
We got,
but they're
speckled.
Sort of mixed. There's a boccaccio right there in the center.
Mm-hmm.
What are the ones with the dark bar and the white spots on top?
I think those are the speckled rockfish.
Okay.
And then there's green spotted rockfish. Tom says boccaccio, vermilion, cowcod, and yellowtail.
You want to stop him up for a minute, right?
Bridge now.
Oh, the yellowtail are the
Hold
ones that I
position.
just asked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
See, I saw Tom's comment, I saw the yellowtail flash. I was like, oh yeah, yellowtail.
It's like, here's all your cup corals.
Yeah, lots of cup corals.
Looks like gum stuck to a rock.
Yeah. Is that Persingid or basket star?
Big basket stars, yeah.
Pretty. Bunch of yellowtail. What's that big red one down in the right bottom? If Tom was watching.
It's a nice basket star.
This would be great for a quiz for Fish ID if you were taking a fish
Yep.
class.
Tom says there's a cowcod under the rock near the top.
Want a closer look?
Sure, let's go ahead and zoom in. We're just exploring around here a little bit just right before the watch change, and then
Yeah.
can let Tom steer wherever he wants to go.
So cowcod, they were declared overfished, and they are a very long-lived species. And I think just recently they were the last one that was taken off of that list. They're not overfished anymore. And right near here, near the Channel Islands, is a cowcod conservation area. It was an area where they limited rockfish fishing, specifically to protect cowcod. There are more in this area, and as you can see, it's difficult to protect just one species of rockfish because they co-occur like this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a beautiful cowcod. Just went out of the screen. So even if you're trying to just protect cowcod, and you're allowing the fishing for these other species, you would accidentally also catch cowcod. So they had to close off all rockfish fishing to protect the cowcod, and that's what happened in the cowcod conservation area.
Starting to see a few desmophyllum hanging off of the little lips of these rocks here. Dangling under the overhangs as they like to do. Yeah, some rockfish also have really strong, like the yellow eye, have really strong homing instincts. So once they settle, they'll occupy the same really small area of a reef for the rest of their lives.
I want to bump
One of the
south.
Can do. Bridge now.
one of the areas I scuba dive up in British Columbia on one of the big reefs, there's been a resident, just enormous pair of yellow eye that are each about three and a half, almost 4 feet long. Really friendly with scuba divers that have
South?
been there the whole time.
that's
Well,
cool.
I've been diving there for 10 years
Oh, we're
now,
just
and
moving the
you
ship.
always can find them on
See.
the same reef.
Wow.
And I think it's up off of Washington where they have the yellow eye conservation area, also to
Mhm.
protect them for the same reason as what we explained about, or what I just explained about cow cod.
15 meters south.
This is pretty cool, all the rockfish that are here.
Yeah.
And we are in a marine reserve where there is no harvest of these species, any of them. So the reasoning behind having a marine reserve is these fish will be protected from fishing and they can grow into larger individuals, and as they get bigger they produce more eggs, so you get more offspring, and they have not broadcast spawning, but the larvae will move out into the pelagic environment, and they will presumably move on based onto the currents into other areas and settle where fishing can take place, so they produce individuals for the fished areas.
Hello.
There's a line on the bottom there.
Oh, yeah. I was just about to say,
So you
there
can get
could be
tangled
some
up in it for shift change.
historic fishing in this area, even though it is closed off now.
That's our crew coming in, so we're gonna sign off and hand it over.
Yes,
Oh.
thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks
We'll
for
see
great
you.
Thank
shift.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
Well, I'll sign off then too. It was great to be with all of you. And Meredith, I think I'll be with you on shifts one of these days again, but not soon. So great having
Yep.
you and working with you. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Pleasure.
Let me sign out. Let me find the. I'm walking out the
I
door.
think we've got Tom Leidig and Chris Caldo coming on now. And Tom, I'm going to jump off. I'm looking at the science chat. If you want me to stay on until you get on, I can. Otherwise, I think you're ready to just jump right in. All right, it's Meredith signing off too, and I'll turn it over to you, Tom.
Jonas, the ship's stopped right now, is that correct?
Yeah, the ship stopped.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like we just got into some more rocky terrain.
Right.
So we can, if science wants, we can continue along this heading for a bit. Looks like 045, and then head up to this CD target.
Yeah, this is Tom. That sounds good.
Yeah, okay, great.
I'll get in front of Argus first before we make any moves since they're pretty shallow. This line looks benign.
Hey, Chris. Oh, we have that pretty nav screen up again.
Yeah. The whole world.
There I am.
I think we,
I'll be going south. I think.
There we are.
Roger that.
Yeah, I can.
I'll
Oh,
just come
you're
out in front.
Yep.
Roger that.
so we had rocks, but now we're losing the rocks. So
Oh, no worries. We can look at the rocks as we zoom past to get out in front. Let's do some lateral
that would be
move.
great. And if you've been watching with us,
Yeah, 045.
we were over mud for
045
most
for the
of the
next move.
dive. And then we hit these rocks. And you see the rockfish are in the rocks.
How
This red
appropriate.
guy is a starry rockfish.
Sorry, Ben. So can you repeat? So we're going to be going 045 for how?
Yeah.
What distance?
For probably 250 meters. There's just a little hump up ahead of us that this is a good angle to go over it. And then we can head kind of more north to CD after that. That sounds.
Sure.
Yeah, that's kind of what Lizzie's saying.
Sweet.
Is move across the feature northeast
Yeah.
and then go to CD.
What is the distance from CC to CD, roughly?
Yeah, for Herc right now, it's about 600 meters.
Okay.
Crow's flight.
All right.
Some kelp. We have many species of rockfish in here now.
Very different colors
We
than
have
the ones we usually.
Bocaccia, yellowtail.
Wow, this line just goes in a circle, doesn't it? Interesting.
It's never ending.
Really is never ending.
You probably don't want to sit down now, but I would like to see that coral that we just passed some other time, because I know you're over the line.
Roger. All right.
That coral we
goes
went
off
by
to the
was
left here.
Placagorgia. It's on our collection list, so if we see that again, we'll have to go grab it.
Roger. Yeah, so it continues left, so I think we're good.
And somebody's at my door.
All right, coming up a bit.
Whoa.
Ah, you can see why there's fishing line in the water. All you little fellas.
Once we're in a more comfortable spot in relation to the boat, what do you think about running a transect somewhere up here, Tom?
Sure thing.
Yeah, you won't be able to
Right.
sample that coral, but you're definitely, looks like the last transect's 600 meters behind us. So.
Okay. Yeah, great.
So you do that transect on the 045 bearing?
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Roger that. I just get myself a little bit
sorry,
more
Chris.
ahead and
We can explore and run a transect. That sounds fine.
Was that the pizza guy at the door, Tom?
No, I don't know who it is, but my wife had to go outside and talk to him. I wish it was
not
pizza.
often,
It sounds good.
It's not often you're on the Nautilus chat and the pizza delivery guy shows up. I think that's probably a rarity.
all right, Ben.
Yeah, I'll do 40 meter moves.
Yeah, we can do a 0.3 knot.
Raj.
Once we see some fishing line, then we'll slow.
Yep.
That sounds like a great plan. So let's see, I've got the doorbell and I had my cat cry. What other things will come up?
These all sound like pleasant things, at least.
The things you don't hear
So
on a
Peters.
normal Nautilus cruise.
Right.
One of the reasons we picked this.
Could we go
spot
forward
is-
above the lasers and look at that coral?
Sure. Before we start our transect.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Sorry, Chris.
We surveyed this spot in 2016, I believe, with multi-beam sonar data to look at the bathymetry and the backscatter. But we also simultaneously were using
Hey, can you want to come down a little
fish
in the
finder.
delta? I'll see if I can get a picture of this before we go. Thank you.
another kind of multi-beam, and
Stop on a
everywhere we
dime
saw
at this step too.
hard bottom around this neck of the woods around Richardson Rock, we just saw tons of fish in the water column, at least in daytime hours. Definitely the fish were more towards the bottom and less detectable by the fish finder at night, but all over this area we saw what perceived to be probably lots of rockfish, but now we actually got to put our eyes into the water with the Nautilus team and see what all those fish were.
Yeah, so when we saw that big school, they were vermilions and yellowtails is what they look like.
I have my fish books at
All
the
right,
ready.
Marley, go ahead.
Ready to learn, Tom.
Oops. Oh, go come a little wide. Actually, full wide there, Marley.
So I would like to collect this white one.
Bridge now.
Roger. Well, that's good because I need to get you a better shot than that.
Kind of sitting on bowling balls here.
Yeah.
Maybe
You come
around
from the
to
other side.
to the left.
Yeah. It's a nicer parking spot than what we had before, huh?
How
All
far?
right, Ben, you want to do me a favor?
Yep.
We can try it out, and if it's too far, then... All right, Marley, go ahead. Huh. Now comes the dilemma of if we can pan up or not. Nope.
Rack
Oh,
up.
ho, ho.
Nice.
Money.
Perfect. All right, yeah, that's full zoom.
Raj. This looks like a pretty small sample. Do you want us to snip and slurp?
That would sound great.
Roger. Let's do it. All right, Marley, come wide, please.
But I want you to take it from the back side. It'll make it hard for you.
Oh, yeah? All right, Marley, go ahead and push on in there a bit, please. That's great, thank you. I think I'm feeling a little bit of a tug. Where do I want to take you from?
What was that little rockfish with a couple dots there, Tom?
That's in the Sebastomus group, and it may well have been an, what's the common name?
Do you want a little bit, or do you want all of this guy?
If you can't get a little bit, just go for it all, because we've already seen another one, so it's not like the only one around.
I see. All right, well, I can
So
still go for
just grab it all. Just grab a handful.
handful?
Yep.
Handful, I won't be able to slurp, but just curious.
Half a handful then. Whatever will fit in the slurp.
Okay, then we'll go for slurpable sizes.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you, Kurt. It's a sword spine. I could only think of rose thorn, and I was like, oh no, that's...
Like I took more than a little handful.
All right.
Go ahead and come
It's
with
still
her,
pretty
Marley.
little.
Just a large handful.
Called a medium-sized handful.
It still has one stick sticking up.
Yeah, please, thank you.
Flush looks very diverse today.
So this is Placagorgia. It's one of the
Right,
species
Ben,
on
can you do
our
me a favor again?
collection list.
Thank you.
And before we leave this area, there's two things I'd like to zoom in on.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. Marley, go ahead and push on in there a bit, please. That's great, thank you. Nice.
Flush is off.
Roger.
What jar are we going for?
Yeah, Mary, what jar are we going for?
Jar 2, please.
Jar 2, Raj.
And this is sample 86, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
All right, let's see how this goes.
I think that's lined up.
Roger. All right, Kim.
30, 40, 50.
Let's see, should be right over it now. So I go. I'm right up against the bumper, so maybe I have to reposition the slurp.
Try left a little on the wrist.
Yeah, I'm right up against the bumper though. Try this guy. Come on.
Oh.
Marley, got any more zoom there? Thank you. Come on. Maybe it's a little big. Huh. Might clog it if it's having this much difficulty. Well, we can try putting a rock on it, maybe.
So just over the slurp, there's a short-spined combfish sitting watching you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, what I'm thinking, guys, is it's a little bit big and a little bit branchy for the slurp, actually. So maybe we'll hold off on the... okay, we can try poking it, but I'm afraid it's going to clog.
All of the small starboard bio boxes are also open.
Okay, let's do that. All right, Kim, I'm going to take this guy from the slurp here.
All right, you might cut the suction.
Roger that.
Nice job.
It's in the second camera.
Roger that. Swing and a miss.
Two more strikes. Looks good.
All right, will you stay? Yeah, she'll be all right. All right, Marley, go ahead and come wide, please. And Mary, you said we have all of those side boxes there full?
Oh yeah, all the small ones. F has a scoop in it, but that's a little small for a big bio box.
Oh yeah, that'd be a condo, wouldn't it?
They should be. Do you need me to
Sample?
do it for you?
Oh, we can try it out.
One sample?
Go ahead.
Is that right?
That's
Oh, yeah.
correct. All right, Kim. Anything floaty, Mary?
Nope.
Roger that. That's what we'd like to hear. All right. Maybe so we have better visuals. I know we're gonna go to B. Make sure I see this thing falling.
Telephone.
That's your pizza.
That's on my end. Sorry.
Getting all the sounds today.
All good. See if it's still there. Looks clear.
Yep.
All right.
Nice.
Mary, that was in B.
All right, thanks.
Overruled.
All right, Ben, you want to go ahead and hit the dive salvo, please?
There was a zoom we wanted, is that?
Yeah, so if you see where the piece of Placagorgia is, or where we just were, that rock to the left, on the left side, there's a yellow coral. Turn on the lasers for a minute and I can direct you.
Oh, yes, you rock. Yes, let's do it. Do you see the lasers now?
So it's almost directly below the lasers on the biggest rock of those four.
Right closest to us? That little yellow?
If you zoom in, yeah, just zoom in
All right,
right now.
Riley, go ahead. Go ahead and push on in.
And you'll
Might
see
be
it.
this thing.
I think
It's
I
right
see
below
it.
the lasers.
Right on
That's a coral? What
So
are we
there's
looking
to the
at?
right of
the
that.
red one.
Uh-huh.
There's a red one to the left a little bit, and almost just below.
Center.
There's a whitish, but it's, when we looked at it from the other way, it was yellow.
Yeah, this one?
Is it this one that's in center screen now?
Yes,
All right.
that is it.
Go ahead, go ahead, Marley. Go ahead, I'm just playing with the pan and tilt.
Oh, this thing? This little thing?
Yeah, I believe so.
That little thing.
Okay.
So that's a newly described species of coral.
Oh, wow.
You want a sample?
I don't think we do because it's newly described, so we know enough about it. I just got to get the name correct. Chromoplexora cordelbankensis.
I wonder where it was found.
Yep. So they also found it way down here, but the first one was found there. So, and then if we could, to the left, there's a red kind of fan small coral.
Oh, I got that one. I know where that one's at. Sorry.
Yep. And just zoom in on that one.
All right, go ahead, Marley.
When were we talking about adding sound effects to our collections?
We're well on our way.
Go ahead a little bit more in there.
That's full zoom right there.
Roger. Well, then that works out well.
Yep. You can see the red skeleton with the yellow polyps.
There's a little pink coral
And
too.
below it on the rock. Excuse me?
Oh, I see like a single stalk of a pink coral to the bottom right of that?
Yes, yep. And then directly below on the red, is a heart urchin, or a heart tunicate.
Sweet.
A big red blob below that. Lots of stuff on these rocks when we zoom in.
Yeah.
Thanks, that's good enough. We can start a transect.
All right.
Roger that. 045.
Yeah, you look. Yeah, I'll wait for you to.
All right, I'm ready.
Yep.
Coming up.
Roger.
This is transect 3.
Yes.
Roger that. Glad we all agree. And right above the lasers is a green striped rockfish. You can see the green stripes in it.
Sorry, I'm just trying to see if I'll stabilize. It's like not.
Well, it doesn't seem particularly complex compared to the other morning, though. This is an incredibly diverse shot with more species in one frame than I think we saw in half an hour.
Yep. Take what we can get.
Off to the races again. Wow.
Yeah, do you guys want to do a quick round of intros since we just did a shift change? And we're transecting for a minute.
Let's do it.
Science, do you guys want to start?
Sure, we can start.
Tom,
I'm Tom Leidig, and I work for the National Marine Fisheries Service. I'm here helping out on this cruise we're in the Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary, and I work on deep sea corals and fishes for my day job. Chris, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chris Caldo, and I am the research coordinator for the Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary, which is, as Tom just mentioned, the location we're surveying today, just off of Santa Barbara in Southern California. We are surveying an area just west of San Miguel Island. My job here is, as a research coordinator, is to promote scientific understanding and research to aid our resource protection and management teams to better manage this marine environment. And with that, I'll turn it over to the Nautilus side of the house.
Yeah, I'm Ben Gracian. I'm a navigator and mapper on the Nautilus.
Jess Sandoval, part of the ROV team, Sit Herc.
Kim Wallace on the ROV team, currently sitting in the Argus seat.
And I'm Marley Parker in the video engineering seat.
I'm Mary Duree, and I'm the data logger.
And this is all brought to you by technology, because Chris and I are sitting at our houses and talking with the ship, and they're doing all the work, so it's kind of fun.
Tom, was that a green stripe?
Yes, pretty much everything we've had so far is green stripes.
Roger that. Thank you.
There was a coral to the left that I'm not sure, but we're on transect, so we're just going to keep going. So we're doing these quantitative transects for about 200 meters that allow us to count all the fishes, and then we get the fishes, corals, and sponges, and then get densities from them. And we use that data to look at changes in assemblages in different areas, and so we can compare different groups of species from one area to another area. And we do this all up and down the coast from Washington to Southern California. And that's part of a lot of my research, is looking at these different fish assemblages and associated with corals and sponges. And here's two short spine combfish. Looks like we have a petrale sole coming up on the left. Last night we were off of Morro Bay at Santa Lucia Bank and got to see aggregations, spawning aggregations of these critters.
That was
very interesting.
That was a good shot.
And these little feathery looking things are crinoids, also called feather stars, that live on the rocks. Some are hydroids, but these dark ones right here. But the light yellow colored ones are crinoids, and you'll find them. Gee, how deep were we the other day? 3,000 meters. So we found them all the way down there.
So Tom and his team are looking to assess the habitats and the condition of the resources up and down the entire West Coast. On our end, on the sanctuary end, we want to know similarly how important are the waters in and around the Channel Islands, and how do they stack up with the waters just to the north and south of us. Out here on the west end of San Miguel Island, we see a lot of the same species that Tom and his team will be recording up off of Northern California and Oregon and Washington. But if we were to survey, and hopefully later in the next couple of days, we'll be surveying to the east of here, off of Anacapa or Santa Cruz, we'll see some species and assemblages that are more similar and more reminiscent to areas to the south towards northern Baja California and off San Diego.
And the coral we collected 5 minutes ago or so is a southern one. The Placagorgia doesn't really make it around Point Conception, so it is a southern species. Why don't you tell us about the Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary, Chris?
If you're not too familiar with this area, if you look on a map at California and you follow the coastline south, you'll get to Point Conception, which is a point of land where the coastline turns from going more north-south to more east-west. And the cold California current comes down all the way from Alaska, straight down the coast of California, and shoots offshore, bathing the western part of the sanctuary, very cold and nutrient-rich waters. And then on the eastern part of the sanctuary, the area closest to, say, Los Angeles, the waters are a bit warmer, and they're affected more by the Davidson countercurrent coming up from, the Southern California countercurrent coming up from Baja, northern Baja. And this combination of factors of current patterns and unique oceanography result in one of the most diverse areas in terms of species that you'll find along the West Coast. The Channel Islands Sanctuary is home to many species of marine mammals, cetaceans, and whales, pinnipeds, seals, sea lions, elephant seals, as well as a combination of more cold water fishes, the rock fishes that we're seeing here, as well as semi-tropical fishes that you would associate with a more typical coral reef ecosystem like wrasses and damselfish. The sanctuary was established in 1980, and it's a multi-use environment with all activities from whale watching, commercial and recreational fishing, scuba diving, etc. So we have many users of the environment, and we have representatives from most of these user groups are all on our Sanctuary Advisory Council, helping to guide and inform our decisions to how best to manage this special place so that it can be protected and sustained for future populations.
Great job. Thank you. It's a bigger rock to the left, but it's going away.
Looks like DP's struggling just a little.
Sorry?
It looks like DP's struggling just a little. Came a little north.
Roger.
So the fish to the left with the 5 red or the 5 white dots and a red body is a Sebastomus. It's a rockfish in the subgenus Sebastomus, and there's 10 species, and they basically all look the same. So it's difficult by camera. Here's another one that just popped out. It's difficult from this video to be able to ID them unless we zoom in on each one, which would take forever.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a large basket star on this rock.
It makes me so happy to hear that sometimes you can't even identify the species, Tom.
Oh, hagfish is, I mean, well, we passed hagfish, but Sebastomus are, I think, one of the numerous categories in our database, because unless they're large enough or you get the right angle as you're passing them on video, you can't tell what they are.
So what kind of features are you using to diagnose them more closely? Like rays, fine counts, or?
So if you can get close enough, you can see the dots on a green spotted or a green blotched. Two similar looking ones. One has dots and one has blotches. So one are tinier than the others, but if you look at them from a distance, they just kind of have a green back. Here's a coral coming up on the left.
Yeah, we're going to be
other
in that
ones
rocky
have,
part.
yep. Other ones have different fin ray counts. So the meristics of them you look at and can tell some of them have, like rosies, they have purple around the white dots. So if you can get in close. Starries have extra white dots and not just the 5 large ones. They have lots of little tiny ones. That's why they're called starry. It's kind of like you look at a starry night with lots of little white dots. And then honeycombs have basically their scales are outlined in dark, so they have a little honeycomb look to them. Just all sorts of different features that if you're up close you can kind of tell, but if you're far away, a lot of times all you can do is say Sebastomus.
Right. It's a good thing all that pigmentation stuff is conserved. Seems useful.
Yep. When I first started working on the deep seas, I worked in a group with 6 people, 3 of which were colorblind.
Oh.
With red-green colorblind. So when you're working on deep sea things that are colored red, it gets really difficult to ID fish. So we had to try to look for ways to ID things, not just using color, because that didn't work for them. And we have a sponge with dead sponge under it.
Thanks.
Yellowtail
And
rockfish.
Yeah, it's either a yellowtail or it's an olive. It's hard to tell on the fly sometimes. Again, 2 very similar looking fish, and this red one is a vermilion rockfish, but that is now, using genetics, has been split into 2 groups, the vermilion and the sunset. So all these different things we have to remember every time we go out and look at fish.
For those species, the yellowtail slash olive and the vermilion slash sunset, would you anticipate either one being more or less common here at the Channel Islands?
I think you're right.
Yes, we would expect that. We would expect some of them segregate by depth. Other ones you would segregate by latitude. So yellowtails are more north, olives are more south. But as you go deep, you'll see more yellowtails than you will olives. So that's why
There's another line.
Right there. Got a good look at that one. So that's one of the things we do is we look where we see the fish, and that helps. Yeah, I see the line. Looks down.
Yeah, it looks all on down.
Cross our fingers. So the one, oh, there's a spiky barrel sponge for Abby. So one of the ways to tell yellowtail from olives is yellowtails have little specks all on the side of their body. And that fish that we went over that was sitting down did not have that, so that one was an olive. And here's a very whited out vermilion. And we're going over, I think, another placa. Oh no, that's probably a Eugorgia coral. And this is a spotted ratfish in front of us. Of course, everything is in front of us, but you know. It's in front of me because the monitor's in front of me, that's why.
Tom-centric.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think we're entering into the state marine reserve, part of Richardson Rock Marine Reserve. It's a no-take marine reserve. It's also been extended into federal waters. The state manages the waters from the shoreline out to 3 nautical miles and has overlapping jurisdiction in that area with NOAA and the Channel Islands Marine Sanctuary.
Just 25 meters.
Roger that.
And the Channel Islands Sanctuary extends those boundaries out to 6 nautical miles off of the 4 northernmost Channel Islands, Anacapa, Santa Cruz, Santa Rosa, San Miguel, and as well as Santa Barbara Island just to the south.
Hey Tom,
out to 1 nautical mile.
Oh, sorry guys. As I go over this feature, it'll be downsloped. So you want me to turn my heading to get a better view?
Yeah, that would be good. I think we only have about 20 meters to go or so, so
Roger that.
we can just run. It looks like there's a Lophelia field to the right, too.
Yeah.
With all the dead rubble there.
Oh, yeah, look at all that. Great call, Tom.